An Introduction to the Science of Hadith by Ibn Salah al-Shahrazuri, 577 to 643, the most influential work on the science of Hadith in existence. The literator Hussein Faris ibn Hussein said, "Student whose time has come to transmit, in transmitting pay attention to transmitting and understanding. Transmit only a few hadith and husband them carefully, for knowledge is infinite." Let the student first direct his attention to the two Sahihs, that is Bukhari and Muslim, then Abu Dawood's Sunnah, then Nasa'i's Sunnah, and then the Book of Tirmidhi, mastering their difficulties and attempting to understand their obscurities. He should not be misled about Bayhaqi's Kitab al-Sunnah, Sunan al-Kabir, for we do not know the like of it in its field. Then he should devote himself to the rest of the works of a scholar of Hadith, including the Musnads, like the Musnad of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, the comprehensive collections arranged by legal topic containing supported and unsupported hadith, and the Muwatta of Imam Malik is the foremost of these. The books on the defects of hadith, al-Hadīth, like for example Ahmad ibn Hanbal's Kitab al-Ilal, the book of defects, Daraqutni's Kitab al-Ilal, are amongst the finest of these. The books containing information about transmitters and where they lived, for example Bukhari's At-Tarikh al-Kabir, the Great History, Ibn Abi Hatim's Kitab al-Jarh wa Ta'dil, the book of personality criticism, are among the best of these. And the books on clarifying problematic names. The most complete of these is Al-Ikmal, Perfection, by Abu Nasr al-Makula. Whenever the student encounters a problematic name or a difficult word in a hadith, let him research it and commit it to memory. That way he will easily gain a good deal of knowledge. Let him memorize hadith gradually, little by little, over several days and nights. That is the best way for him to master the material to be learned. That practice is reported from a number of early experts in hadith, including Shu'bah, Ibn Ulayya, and Ma'mar. We heard that Ma'mar said, "I heard Zuhri saying, whoever seeks knowledge as a whole loses it as a whole. Knowledge is acquired only a hadith or two at a time." Let exactitude be the student's concern. Abdurrahman bin Mahdi said, "Learning is exactitude." Repeating to others hadith one is trying to memorize is one of the most powerful ways to master them. We heard that Alqamah ibn Qais al-Nakha'i said, "Repeat the hadith amongst yourselves. They live through being spoken. And whoever is pleased to learn hadith, let him transmit them, even if he has to transmit them to someone who does not desire them." Let the student occupy himself with compiling, composing, and arranging when he becomes ready and qualified for that. As the expert Khatib said, "It makes the memory firm, kindles the heart, hones one's character, improves clarity, uncovers the unclear, brings good repute, and immortalizes one to the end of time." Rarely does one become adept in the science of hadith, fathom its obscurities, and discern its hidden points without doing that. The expert Suri Muhammad ibn Ali transmitted, saying, "I saw the expert Abu Muhammad Abdul Ghani ibn Sa'id in a dream, and he said to me, 'Abu Abdullah, compile and arrange it before it becomes impossible for you.' This is my case. You see that it has become impossible for me." The scholars of hadith follow two courses in arranging material. 1. Arrangement by legal topic, al-abwab. This is the inclusion of hadith according to the legal issue and so forth that they address, and grading them by type, bringing together the relevant material for each legal issue and each type, subject by subject. Arrangement by the hadith, e.g., for example, Musnad, al-Masanid, and the collection of the hadith of each companion individually, even if the types of hadith differ. Those who chose this approach may order the companions alphabetically by name. He may also order them by tribe, beginning with the Banu Hashim, that is the tribe of the Prophet, and then the closest in regard to blood ties to the Messenger of God, and then the next closest. He may also order the companions by various measures of precedence applied to them. So he should begin with the 10 who were granted the glad tidings of their acceptance into paradise, then the Muslim participants in the Battle of Badr, then the people of Hudaybiyah, then those who converted to Islam, went to Medina after the time of Hudaybiyah and before the conquest of Mecca. He should conclude with the youngest companions like Abu Tufail and his peers, and finally the women. This is the best way, and the first, that is, alphabetical arrangement, is the easiest. There are also other arrangements. One of the most elevated ways to arrange hadith is the analytical mu'allal, which collects chains of transmissions for each hadith and notes the differences in the transmitters of it. Ya'qub ibn Shaybah did this in his Musnad. Another kind of composition with some occupy themselves in the collection of teachers, that is the collection of the hadith of particular teachers, each of them separately. Uthman ibn Sa'id al-Darimi said, "It is said that whoever does not collect the hadith of these five is bankrupt in hadith. Sufyan al-Thawri, Shu'bah, Malik, Hamad ibn Zayd, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, they are the basis of the right religion." The scholars of hadith collect the hadith of many people besides those Darimi mentioned, including Ayyub al-Sakhtiyani, Zuhri and Awza'i. They also collect headings, tarajim, and these are isnads, singling out the text they appear with and collecting them in book form, like the hearings of Malik from Nafi' from Abdullah ibn Umar, the heading of Suhayb ibn Abi Salih from his father, that is Abi Salih Dhakwan ibn Abdullah as-Saman, from Abu Huraira, the heading Hisham ibn Urwa from his father, Urwa ibn Zubair, from Aisha, and there are many similar ones. They also collect individual chapters about the comprehensive books arranged according to legal issue. For instance, the chapter on seeing God, He is great and exalted in the hereafter, Ru'yatillah. The chapter on raising the hands in prayer, Raf al-Yadayn. The chapter on recitation behind the prayer leader, Al-Qira'ah Khalf al-Imam, and so forth. Then they put them separately in book form so they become individual monographs. They also treat certain hadith separately, collecting the lines of transmission in individual monographs, like the lines of transmission of the hadith regarding the taking away of knowledge, Qabd al-Ilm, and the hadith regarding the major ablution on Friday, Al-Ghusl, Yawm al-Jum'ah, and so forth. Early hadith scholars collected and arranged in monographs the hadith belonging to the many categories treated in this book of ours. In all of this, the student must make his purpose sound and be on guard against the aim of merely striving for large numbers and the like. We heard that Hamza bin Muhammad al-Kinani published a single hadith about 200 lines of transmission and was pleased with that. He saw Yahya bin Ma'in in a dream and mentioned that to him. Yahya bin Ma'in replied, "I fear this comes about under the heading of your God is competition in quantity. Your God is competition in quantity." Let the student be careful to bring forth his companions to the public only after he has polished, refined, and reviewed them again, his compositions to the public only after he has polished, refined, and reviewed them again and again. Let the student be on guard against collecting something he is not yet qualified for in an attempt to reap the fruit and seize the profit of collecting it. This way, the verdict against him will not be one we heard from Ali ibn al-Madini. When you see a youth who, the first time he records hadith, collects the hadith regarding the major ablution, and the hadith whoever ascribes a lie, man kadhaba alayya, right on the nape of his neck, he will not prosper. This book is an entryway into the study of hadith, an attempt to make clear its main and secondary issues and to explain the terminology, aims, and concerns of its practitioners. Ignorance of these matters impairs the transmitter. This book is, God willing, worthy of receiving attention before any other. We beseech God and pay and ask for His great grace, and He knows best. Stay tuned for Category 29 and many more parts.